To the Tecate tail of the tape, where there's a number that stands out. That's 252 total rounds. That's 5 times as many for Perez as Duarte has had as a professional. This fight is scheduled for 10 rounds as we send it into Mark Prado for the official introduction.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fantasy Springs Resort Casino here in Indio, California. This is Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN. Buenas noches, damas y caballeros, y bienvenidos a Indio, California, Fantasy Springs Resort Casino para boxeo con Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, ESPN y ESPN Deportes. Our opening contest is scheduled for 10 rounds in the lightweight division. The co-feature is brought to you by Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions and presented by Tecate, the official beer of boxing, Hennessy, Never Stop, Never Settle, and Wad Gear. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 134.8 pounds. His impressive professional record consists of 22 victories against 9 defeats, 6 wins coming by way of knockout. Wearing white with the standards of Mexico and the Philippines, he is a native of Sindangan, Zamboanga del Norte, Philippines. Please welcome Rey, the Technician Perez. His undefeated opponent fights out of the red corner. He weighed in at 134.8 pounds. Undefeated as a professional with 13 victories, 0 defeats, and 1 draw. 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Wearing black with white, then hailing from Parral, Chihuahua, Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, Oscar Duarte.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. Mouthpiece. La boca. Gentlemen, you have received your instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean, hard fight. You will obey my commands at all times. Touch them up. Good luck to both of you.
All right, we thank you for joining us here on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN. I'm Bernardo Osuna. Ringside will be my color analyst and head trainer for Oscar Duarte, Joel Diaz, who will be joining us sporadically through this fight. We're trying to give you a completely different experience. You'll get the experience of Joel as a cornerman, but as well as a color analyst. We'll see how that goes as the night progresses, but it's all about the fighters. Oscar Duarte in the black trunks trimmed in white, red, and green, the Mexican colors, and his opponent, Rey Perez, who says, finally, I have a full camp. I'm not being thrown out here as the opponent to be taken out. I'm being thrown out here as someone to test. A young prospect coming up, Oscar Duarte from Parral, Chihuahua, who says, I want to be the next Mexican idol in the vein of Canelo Alvarez, of Oscar de la Hoya, of Julio Cesar Chavez. That's elite company that he's mentioning his name with.
Hay que trabajar el jab abajo, Oscar, ¿eh? Hay que trabajar el jab abajo, especialmente para que baje esa izquierda.
You hear my partner Joel Diaz speaking in Spanish to Oscar Duarte saying, hey, I want you to use that jab. I want you to set up that right. And there you see Joel Diaz in the corner barking out instructions. His assistant tonight is Antonio Diaz, his brother. So they've got the corner covered. All right, so far, Joel, as you look at Oscar Duarte come out in this first round to feel out his opponent, what does he need to do early on?
He needs to start picking with a jab to the body because there's an opening on the left side. So he needs to start measuring for that punch to come over his left. So he needs to, from the beginning right now, he needs to establish his jab to the body and be careful with that left hook.
All right, and that overhand right. He got caught there with that overhand right. So we're seeing how dangerous Perez could be early on.
Vamos a cerrarle, vamos a cerrarle. Cerrarle la distancia con la defensa, eso, cerrarle, cerrarle.
You gotta close the distance. You gotta go after him. Those are the instructions of Joel Diaz as he switches from English to Spanish for a Spanish-speaking fighter in the ring, Oscar Duarte.
No juegues con tu defensa, Oscar, no juegues con tu defensa.
Now you knew, Joel, that Rey Perez has a good right hand. He used it against Chimpa, and he's trying to establish that against Oscar.
Yes, he has a great right hand. But right now, it's just a matter of of Oscar. Once he gets established, he measures his distance and his timing, he's going to start working. Oscar's a slow starter, but it's because he's taking his time to get his distance and his range.
Oscar's a fighter who hurts sparring partners in the ring. Joel has been a witness of that in and out of the Indio Boys and Girls Club, where champions and former champions tell him this guy can crack. And, you know, Duarte was telling us where he gets his man strength from. He says, I had it since I was 10, 12 years old, working in my father's ranch in Parral, Chihuahua. He said, I would pick up 50-kilo sacks of grain, and my father said, hey, kid, you're going to hurt yourself. I said, don't worry about me. I'm all right.
10 seconds, stop the bell.
Big overhand right there as we finish this round. We have a great main event, and if you love this sport, you're going to love this fight. Beto Duran joins the broadcast now. What do you expect from Romero Duno and Gilberto Gonzalez?
Power in action. That's what his opponents and his sparring partners would call Romero Duno. And now he's a fighter who's going behind his parents' back. They thought they were giving their young son money to go to college. He was actually fighting as a professional. He has a bright future, according to Golden Boy matchmaker Roberto Diaz. Now, Flaco Gonzalez is a fighter, Bernie. I've done 4 of his fights. Stands in the middle, will trade with you, and he's always bloodied. He said he has no problem being the opponent. He has no problem coming in against Duno. He said he's coming here for a surprise. And as Flaco said, I always put on a show. Good style matchup tonight, Bernie.
Yes, that would be a great matchup between Romero Duno against Gilberto Gonzalez in one of the burgeoning rivalries in boxing today, Mexico and the Philippines. So don't miss that fight. Gonzalez is a tough-as-nails fighter. Romero Duno, he knows what he's up against and what a victory would mean to his career. You talk about victories meaning a lot to a young fighter's career. The first time that Oscar Duarte fought on a Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN card, it was at the Belasco, and he knocked out Alejandro Salinas. He said, that day they called me on a Tuesday. I fought on a Friday against an undefeated Puerto Rican fighter. I lost 17 pounds in 3 days. Didn't sleep the night before the weigh-in, but I knew a big win would set my career up. And that's what he's trying to do here against Perez, who lands a nice right hand, but it's that left hook of Duarte that's doing damage.
Tranquilo, Oscar, no te descontroles. Control, va. Vamos, cerrando distancia, pero con control, Nico.
All right, Joel, so he's looking good here as Duarte in the second round, but it seems like you want him to settle down.
Yes, he got a little excited right there because he landed a good shot, but when he gets a little carried away, he gets caught because he gets in a little reckless.
All right, so we see the irritation on the right eye of Oscar Duarte in the black trunks. That's product of a left hook that Rey Perez has been able to land as Duarte once again lunges from the outside.
Cierra la distancia, camina, córtale el ring. Se está moviendo más para un lado, muévete para tu derecha.
Cut off the ring, he's moving just to one side, so cut off the ring and move to his right. Those are the instructions from Joel Diaz for Oscar Duarte.
Ya sintió la pegada, Oscar, suéltale.
He felt your punch, let your hands go, says Joel Diaz.
Camina para tu derecha poquito, bien.
Walk towards your right. Those are the instructions of Joel Diaz. My broadcast partner tonight is pulling double duty in Spanish with his instructions to Oscar Duarte and in English.
1-2 largo, 1-2, tira los golpes rectos.
Joel, why is it key for Duarte to keep moving to his right?
Because he's staying behind. Perez keeps moving more to Duarte's right, but Duarte's staying behind. Instead of cutting the corners, he's going along with him. He needs to cut the corners a little bit.
What does staying behind mean, Joel?
Staying behind is because by the time he wants to throw his punches, the Rey is already out. So he needs to cut the ring and be in front of him when he unloads his combinations. Bien, Oscar, bien, vamos. Suelta, ya ves, cada vez que
Unique
sueltas.
perspective here from Joel Diaz, as he's both the trainer and my broadcast partner this evening on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN. But Rey Perez, man, he's no slouch. He came to win tonight, and he's making Oscar Duarte work early on.
Te queda como dar López de derecha, Cuídalo.
Joel, give us a little insight as to what your instructions are going to be to Oscar Duarte as he comes to the corner for the end of the second round.
Well, I noticed in this round that every time he closes the distance and he unloads, he throws in combinations, he does really well. He's just staying a little bit too behind.
All right, thank you, Joel. Now takes the headset off and awaits the end of round 2 to give instructions to Oscar Duarte.
Oscar, ya sintió el golpe, pero tú no estás trabajando, mijo. Hey, tienes que cerrarle. Él a la distancia. Escupe aquí. Él a la distancia te va a ganar porque tiene el jab larguito, ¿me entiendes? Hijo, tienes que soltar más tus combinaciones, Oscar. ¿Ok? Hey, y no te quedes atrás. A ver. Oscar, tienes que trabajar, hijo, ¿eh? No tienes que darle las manos. Mira, y cuando él se va moviendo para tu derecha, córtale el camino. Mira, escalerealo. ¿Ok? Que no te salga. Mételo a la escuela para que le descargues. Vamos. Oscar, cuidado con eso, hombre. Él te queda acomodar.
Joel Diaz in the corner, and as my color analyst this evening, and Beto Duran will be bringing us ringside reports throughout the evening. We're at Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino, where Oscar Duarte is putting his unbeaten record on the line against tough Rey Perez of the Philippines.
No juegues con tu
There's that
defensa.
overhand right of Rey Perez. I mean, that's one of his best weapons coming into this fight. It's worked for him, especially against Chimpa Gonzalez right here in this same building on February 22nd when he pulled off the upset. So he knows what he's doing in the ring in this, his 32nd professional fight. All right, Joel, I want to ask you, what is Rey Perez doing well in keeping Oscar Duarte off of him?
He's keeping him outside. That's the only thing he's doing good, is just keeping him outside. Oscar is staying outside, and that's where he can't be. He needs to get inside, attack, and at close range.
How do you get inside of a long jab like Perez?
Well, you need to use some feints once in a while so that he can throw it and he gets inside and slipping side to side. Tienes que entrar, Oscar. Tienes que entrar. Estás quedando adentro. Tienes que meterte, pero bien cerradito.
All right, you got to get in there, says Joel Diaz to Oscar Duarte. You got to throw some punches. One of the other instructions earlier from Joel Diaz was you got to let your hands go. A timid overhand right there from Oscar Duarte over the jab of Perez. Would you like to see him more aggressive, Joel?
Yes, he needs to be more aggressive. He needs to throw more combinations. He needs to pick to the body, to the head, and throw some feints and do something different, because he's basically doing the same thing over and over. Vamos, ciérralo.
Trying to work to the body is Oscar Duarte as he's able to land there with a left hook. But you see the head movement from Perez. I mean, a veteran inside the ring who knows what he's doing. He was as confident as ever after having a 4-month training camp. Nice combination there from Perez. He's making Duarte follow him, and he's making him pay.
No esperes.
Don't wait, says Joel Diaz, as now it's Perez who takes the initiative. Perez as confident as ever because he said, I finally had a training camp. I mean, at the end of the day, I've come in with no sparring. I've come in on 1 week's notice, and that's why I lose. This time, I've had a great camp, and beating Chimpa taught me that I have a second chance as a pro. There's a nice overhand right from Duarte. Big left hook from Oscar Duarte as he pins Perez against the ropes, but Perez always trying to find a way out here in the third round as his legs are his best weapon apart from his jab.
Look at me. Right. Hey, I'm talking to you. You want to win, you got to throw more punches. You're not throwing combinations. That motherfucker's going wild. You got to counter with the uppercut. You shoot back with the right hand. You hear that? Hey, We're in his hometown. You're not gonna win decision. You gotta fucking beat his ass. You hear that?
With a little bit more pressure now, right?
What pressure on him? What pressure? That guy don't got shit here. You remember we were working? We were working here and here. We were working here. When you get close, come on, man. Go in there and get close to him. Let me see your eyes. Shut it down.
Come on, Ray.
Hey.
Oscar,
Fourth
hey,
round
vamos,
of
hijo,
a
suelta más
scheduled
las manos.
10-round co-main event here at Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino, where undefeated Oscar Duarte takes on 31-fight veteran Rey Perez of the Philippines. And
Camina pa tu
Beto
derecha,
Duran, the
camina pa
third
tu
man
derecha.
of this broadcast crew, joins us with some controversy in Perez's corner.
Before the fight,
bien.
Ray
Camina pa tu
Perez's
derecha,
corner
camina pa
did
tu
not
derecha, va.
like the way that
Llévalo, que
Oscar
no se vaya
Duarte
al
got
suelo.
his hands wrapped. They complained to the commission. The commission said they're fine. The commission signed off on it. It got so bad back there that Joel Diaz told them, look, we will show you the hand wraps. After the fight, the commission has said that they will cut off Duarte's hand wraps and show Perez's corner that there's nothing illegal in the wraps.
Eso recto le sirve, vamos. Eso
They know
recto le
how
están
hard
haciendo daño,
Oscar
mijo,
Duarte
trágalo.
punches, so maybe it's the old Nazim Richardson, Bernard Hopkins edge they're trying to get against a young fighter like Oscar Duarte. But, you know, Joel Diaz is a veteran of the game. I'm sure he didn't let that get in the head of Oscar Duarte.
Bien, va. Ya no
Duarte
quiere.
missing with that looping overhand right. Then he goes to the body, but
Ya no quiere,
you
ya no
see
quiere,
that
va.
basket defense of Perez
Vamos,
trying
vamos.
to avoid the punishment
Presiona.
down below.
Presiona con inteligencia, papá. Ah.
Pressure with intelligence, says
Vamos.
Joel Diaz. Is a nice left hook from Duarte, although it's caught partially by the glove of Perez.
Búscale el gancho al cuerpo. Bien.
With the
Eso.
body, says Joel Diaz, as Duarte allows Perez to escape from the corner.
Él ya sintió la pegada, por eso está moviendo, mijo. Ya no quiere intercambiar contigo.
He's felt your power. He doesn't want to exchange with you.
1-2, 1-2 recto, 1-2 recto. Mételo, 1-2 recto. Ahí.
1-2 straight hands is what Joel Diaz expects from Oscar Duarte. Just seems like Oscar's not getting into second gear. How much has it affected him, Joel, that the boxing skills of Perez have been on display here in the first 4 rounds of the fight?
See, the thing is this, that we need to make adjustments now because we trained for a Perez that was going to stay in the ring and exchange with him like he did with Chimpa. And, you know, now he's staying outside. He's trying to keep Oscar in the distance. Then now is the time to make adjustments. Now we're going to come in with a different strategy in this next round.
All right, so that's why they always say never watch your opponent's fights, because the guy you train for may not be the guy you're facing in the ring, and that's the case with Perez tonight, with Rey Perez, the Filipino fighter who is changing things up against Duarte. Maybe it's the power that Duarte showed early on in this fight that has Rey Perez rethinking his fight strategy, but Joel Diaz will be changing the strategy after the 4th round for the second half of the fight against Rey Perez.
Acá. Que no se salga.
It's those exits of Perez that are worrying Joel Diaz, his trainer tonight. When Oscar Duarte can exchange, he's getting the best of him, but when he allows Rey Perez to move laterally, that's when he's having trouble.
Cabeza, pégale en los hombros, en el cuerpo. Él cuando te pega, ¿te lastima? Entonces, ¿cómo trabajas, papá? Duarte, tienes que trabajar, mijo. ¿Te vas a dar la pelea? ¿Vamos bien? Pues apareja, mijo, porque tú nomás estás hablando. Él no está haciendo nada, pero nomás está haciendo puntitos, mijo, para echar los dos. ¿No estás tirando, cabrón? ¿Quieres ganar o no? ¿O qué hay que tirar, pues? ¡Ey, esa es tu noche! ¡Ey! Si no te lastimas, entonces tú estás esperando afuera. ¡Vamos! ¡Cansamos, anda! ¡Vamos!
Take it down, mouthpiece is dead. Take it down, mouthpiece is dead.
Oscar!
In the corners,
Oscar.
each man
Hey,
wants their
soltamos
fighter
los
to
golpes.
throw more punches. The same thing that Joel Diaz was asking Oscar Duarte to do is what Salvador Casillas was asking from Rey Perez. So Joel, as you are in the corner, I'd love to ask you, what's the one thing that Duarte needs to do here in the 5th round?
He needs to throw more combinations. He needs to establish his jab a little more and not focus too much on the head, because every time he tries to exchange, he goes more to the head, and Rey already knows. He slips out and walks away. That's why I told him, you got to hit the body, hit the arms, hit the shoulders, just until he sits there to exchange with you.
Thank you very much, Joel. And you see that Perez now trying to work that uppercut, take advantage of Duarte as he comes in and opens up a little bit.
Bien, 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 así, cerrando, va.
Close the distance, says Joel.
Vamos, Oscar. ¿Qué estás esperando, Oscar? Vamos.
What are you waiting for, Oscar? That's what Joel Diaz is saying. And now he comes in. Now he's got him against the ropes. But there goes Perez. Nice left hook to the body from Duarte. But then he allows Perez to escape, to get slippery and move out.
Double left
hook from Duarte. Now he's starting to work the body, make Perez stand still, and he punishes him against the ropes. And out comes Duarte with shots of his own. And now it's Perez who's answering.
Tranquilo. No te avientes, no caigas mal parado. Vamos.
Don't lunge, don't lose your balance, is what Joel Diaz is telling Duarte. Work that double jab, upstairs and downstairs. Perez as calm as can be. This is the fight that Perez expected. This is not the fight that Duarte expected. So Perez is switching the script here through the first 5 rounds of the fight. And now he's a little bit more static. Now he's standing.
Bien. Mete la derecha abajo, ahí abajo las costillas. La derecha abajo del jab.
Joel, is it fatigue or is it good work from Duarte that's making Perez stand a little bit more still here as we're in the middle of round 5?
I think it's a little bit of both. You know, at this point, they're already exchanged. They already felt each other. So now it's time where they both have to think about what their strategy is and make more adjustments as they go. Suéltate.
Rey Perez was saying that this is his prime. In boxing, from 27 to 29 years old is where you're at your physical peak. That's where he's got his match strength. His opponent is only 22 years old. With 14 fights experience. So he's trying to take advantage of that. Joel's asking him, don't let him get away from you. Don't let him get free from that corner. There you see that combination punching from Oscar Duarte. A quick jab from Rey Perez. You see a little bit of inflammation over the right eye of Perez. Under the right eye of Perez. We're halfway through this fight. Oscar Duarte, Rey Perez, and Joel Diaz giving us very good insight as to what happens in a corner throughout a fight.
Hey, how you doing? You right? You want to keep on fighting or what? Huh? No what? Continue? Okay. Well, show me what you want to do. Show me punches then. Combination. He's done already, right? That guy's done. He's done. You gotta be putting more combinations on. You throw one shot at a time, it's not gonna work, son. One shot at a time ain't gonna work. You gotta put your combinations together. You hear that? Right hook right, move to the side, body shot. You gotta put them together, man. Come on.
Back for the 6th round of a scheduled 10-rounder between Oscar Duarte and Rey Perez. Beating Chimpa taught me that I had a second chance, is what Rey Perez said. Everyone was calling me a reject. My old manager was calling me a reject. My trainer was calling me a reject. What are they saying in his corner tonight, Beto?
They're frustrated, Bernie. He's not listening to him. Capetillo, his trainer, is telling him, throw the right hand. He hasn't done that. So now they're going mental games with him. They told him, you're letting your family down. Do this for your family. They said the advice is working because he's not listening.
That's one of the things. When you're in deep waters, you revert to who you are. And maybe Perez, he said, I know my conditioning is good for this fight because David Napoles has been working with me. And now I don't know how confident I can be that I can beat Oscar Duarte. And maybe that doubt is starting to creep into the head of Rey Perez as Oscar Duarte starts to press here in the 6th round. Switching southpaw is Perez, but Joel Diaz says, hey, now he's more static. He's standing in front of you. Nice left uppercut from Perez, who tries to switch things up, moves back to the orthodox position.
Cuando se voltea izquierdo, mete mesa derecha. Centra. Doble jab. Sigue. Mete.
The rhythm is slowed down here in the 5th round.
That's all you gotta do, son. Touch him like that. Touch him.
Vamos, Oscar, métele a la derecha, el gancho abajo. Pícale el hígado. Que no te amarre, mijo.
Touch him. Let go one strong one.
Neither fighter really feeling confident in terms of letting loose. Joel, how much more does Duarte have in the tank in terms of being a young fighter and facing a veteran tonight?
He has a lot in his tank. He's young. He trained hard. It's just what Oscar does is he tries to set the target. Like, for example, you see now, he tries to set a steady target so that he can land his best shot like that. That overhand right. He's focusing too much on one punch, and that's the overhand right. So he needs to switch it up a little bit to the left as well.
Joel Diaz doing double duty as our color analyst and as the lead trainer for Oscar Duarte.
Otra vez. No te quedes en el mismo lugar. Muévete.
Fight against Rey Perez. You've got to move. You got to go get him, says Joel Diaz.
Lo haces fallar y contragolpeado.
You got to make him miss, but you got to make him pay on the counter.
Rectos.
Straight punches.
Ella no quiere, Duarte.
He wants no more, Duarte. It's kind of what both corners have been saying, because Rey Perez heard the same instructions from Salvador Casillas saying this kid is done.
Anda cansado. Eso, vamos.
Now Joel Diaz says this kid is tired too. Go get him. Duarte looping his punches here.
El cruzado izquierda.
Use your left cross by the instructions from Joel Diaz.
Oscar, ya no quiere, mijo. Está cansado,
He
vamos.
wants no more. Nice left hook to the liver from Oscar Duarte.
That was a better round.
All right, tonight's main event will feature this Filipino man, Romero Duno, who made a name for himself on a Golden Boy boxing fight card, and he earned himself a contract. He came in as an opponent. The first time we saw Romero Duno was against Christian Chimpa Gonzalez. He was undefeated coming into the fight, and Romero Duno said, I respect no one. The overhand right clipped Chimpa in the 2nd round, and then it was another right hand that put him down, and that was the definitive fight that changed not only the career but the life of Filipino Romero Duno, who will be taking on Gilberto Flaco Gonzalez tonight as we get another matchup between Mexico and the Philippines in the ring. Gotta hit him in the body, hit him anywhere in the shoulders, anywhere to wear him out are the instructions from Joel Diaz. I want more work. Come on, son. He's getting tired.
Oscar, ella está cansado, mijo.
He's already tired, son. Unfettered access to the red corner of Oscar Duarte as our Joel Diaz does double duty. Head trainer as well as color analyst for us this evening. 7th round of a scheduled 10-round fight.
Hay que hacer ese cambio. Va. Eso, ahí está eso. Es el jab que quiero ver.
Joel, you asked about making a change. What is the change for Oscar Duarte here in round 7 against Perez?
There's a change. He's using his jab more. Now he's using his straight jab more to set up the target at one spot. Buena finta, eso, vamos.
Good feint, says Joel Diaz. As
bien,
the jab is key for any fighter, but especially for Duarte, a young fighter who can set up his power shots off of that. As here comes back Rey Perez, working the body with a straight right. Joel, how important are the feints for Duarte here in round 7?
They're very important because when you throw a feint, you make your opponent think otherwise. So it makes him change whatever he has in mind. That was a nice overhand right. Trabaja el cuerpo. Bien.
There goes the body work to follow up good overhand rights. As the trainer Joel Diaz narrated exactly what was going on with his pupil Oscar Duarte. Unfettered access, something maybe you haven't seen before, where the trainer is also our analyst, and Joel Diaz doing a great job of wearing 2 hats, wearing 2 coats. Later on it'll be tie-in sport coat, but right now it's all about working the corner of Oscar Duarte. He wants more straight shots against the Filipino. Rey Perez is walking back, and Joel, he doesn't have the same spry legs that he had early on, does Perez?
It's because Duarte's already attacking to the body. When you start attacking to the body, then you start, setting him down a little bit, so he can't move as much. Now he's executing a little bit of body work. Perez doesn't have much mobility on his feet anymore.
Now, are you reverting more to what was the original game plan now that Perez isn't moving as much?
Well, I make adjustments. I don't only train my fighters for one thing. There you go, nice shot. See, but we have to apply different things round by round, and that's what Oscar Duarte is doing, because that's what we work for. We switch it up in case we have to. Bien,
right.
Oscar.
Now that the fight is heating up, what was your original game plan? Because you said you expected a fighter to be standing toe-to-toe.
I was expecting Rey Perez to stand in the ring, in the middle of the ring, and do what he did with Chimpa, just go toe-to-toe. But he can't do that with Oscar, because Oscar, when he hits you, anywhere he hits you, he hurts you. Bien, buen gancho.
There you see that left hook to the chin from Oscar Duarte, who, as his trainer and my colleague for the evening, Joel Diaz, explained what the game plan was early. Well, now he's applying it late because the legs of Rey Perez are slowing down and he's becoming the fighter he expected early on in the fight. We're through 7 rounds here at Fantasy Springs. Continue with us when we return as the fight nears its end. Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN is presented by Tecate, the official beer of boxing. And it's brought to you by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. The sun sets on Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino here in the California desert. And in the corner of Rey Perez, they're saying the sun is setting on your career if you don't find a way to win here against Oscar Duarte, who had never been past 5 rounds as a pro. Now he's in the 8th round. Both times he went 5 rounds, he ended up stopping his opponent. Beto, we've been hearing from Joel Diaz all night long, but what's going on in the corner of Rey Perez?
Frustration from the corner of Rey Perez. They asked him between rounds, do you want to fight? He said yes. They said, well, you're not showing me that you want to. They're even considering that if he's not fighting back, they might even think about stopping this. He hasn't listened to any kind of instructions since the last 2 rounds. They've been telling him, how about an uppercut? How about a right? There's no real instruction now. It's just frustration.
Thank you very much, Beto, for the excellent work in the blue corner of Rey Perez. He's got his legs back, maybe a second win here, and this worked for him early on, Joel. So how do you make sure that he doesn't keep moving away from Oscar Duarte?
Well, now you can see Rey Perez is more into surviving now. He don't want to stand anymore. As soon as he gets a little, there you go. As soon as he gets a little bit of energy to move on his legs, he'll do it. But eventually, Oscar's going to go for it. Nice body shot.
That's exactly what you wanted from him, and that's exactly what Oscar Duarte is pulling off here in round number 8. You see Rey Perez breathing deep, having to breathe heavy here in the 8th round, and there's a body shot that drops Rey Perez.
That's exactly what I told you. There you go. Oscar, vamos, igual.
We're going to take a look at what the corner does here in the 8th round. As we've talked about the power in the punches of Rey Duarte. He can work to the body or the overhand left to the head. And here you see Duarte just teeing off on Rey Perez. And there he goes down with the left to the right to the head for the 2nd time in the fight. And he's cut.
Vamos, Lucas, respira, respira. Síguele buscando el cuerpo. Ataca el cuerpo, va.
Here we go.
How does he finish this fight, Joel?
He needs to keep going to the body. Don't give this guy life. He needs to keep attacking the body because he's getting. There you go. There you go. Nice.
Double left hook from Oscar Duarte. Back comes Perez with a big right hand, and now the body work takes its toll on Rey Perez, who starts to drop his hands and tries to hold the youngster. And here goes. It could have been a 3rd knockdown, but the veteran move from Rey Perez avoids an official knockdown. Go to the liver, says Joel Diaz. There's that left hook from Oscar Duarte. There's a right hand from Rey Perez. He's got life still. But that left hand to the body from Oscar Duarte trying to punish Rey Perez. He wants no more, says Joel Diaz. 2 knockdowns for Oscar Duarte against Rey Perez. Let's listen to the blue corner and see if they'll let him continue.
Want to go? You sure? Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna stop the fight if you throw punches. You can, hey, Ray, look at me, man. You cannot stand in front of him and trade punches with him. He's too strong for you, man.
The guys are clear. He seems to be all right, but he's tired. So we'll see what happens this round. Okay?
You hear that? You cannot stand in front of him. He's too strong, man. You hear that? Why are you standing in front of him, man? Come on,
You see the left hook to the liver.
Wait, don't stand in front of him, man. You stand in front of him, he's training fucking loading on you, man.
He's got a slight set on his right eye. He did. Punch.
You hear that?
Check it out, motherfucker. Check it out, motherfucker.
I don't want to stop the fight, son. Come on, man.
We apologize for the language. Salvador Casillas tells Rey Perez, I don't want you standing in front of him, and I don't want to stop the fight. What are your instructions, Joel, as Oscar Duarte comes out for this, the 9th round?
Well, my instructions were, you already heard him. You already know what it takes to finish this fight. And he's very aware. All we have to do is land that one shot, and it's over. He knows that if he lands that liver shot one more time, this fight's over.
The insight from both corners here. That was the Hennessy corner cam that kept us in the corner of Rey Perez, who's once again hurt. And you hear Joel Diaz say, go get that knockout.
Tranquilo, Oscar, tranquilo.
Good work on the cut over the right eye of Rey Perez.
Paciencia, mijo, paciencia. Córtale, más rápido que usted.
Patience, cut off the ring, and go get him, says Joel Diaz.
Ya no quiere.
He wants no more. Nice left hand from Oscar Duarte, who loads up on those double left hooks. But he's also open for a counter if Rey Perez can muster one more. Now Duarte goes southpaw. Is he getting a little bit too wild here, Joel?
He's getting a little excited, but I'll control him a little bit. Sometimes they get a little bit off track. So that's when we have to line them up again. Contrólate un poco. Contrólate, no. Tranquilo. Vamos a picar en los lugares adecuados. No nomás
Peck
tires.
him with the jab. Don't just throw to throw.
No me bajes esas manos.
Don't drop your hands.
La confianza no quiero que le suba tanto así.
Don't get overconfident.
Get that paper off the
Those are the instructions from Joel Diaz. 1.5 minutes left here in round 9.
Pícale
Unknown territory for Oscar Duarte.
Ya se anda cuidando el lado izquierdo.
He's taking care of his left side, says Joel Diaz.
Ok, ahora cámbiasela. Él está tapándose el hígado. Ahora búscale la derecha arriba.
He's covering his liver, so try that overhand right. Joel, he's never been 9 rounds. He had never been past 5 rounds. How strong is Duarte here in the 9th round?
He's young, man. He's just getting stronger and stronger, you see. A young fighter like Oscar Duarte, all he does is he practices in the gym, and he knows because he closed with 10 rounds, and as you can see, he's just getting his second win, and they slow down a little bit to get a little bit of air, but they'll come back strong. He's still in. He can still give you another 4 or 5 rounds.
How's he responding to you as he is in deep waters for the first time as a pro?
He responded really well. As a matter of fact, the previous round he told me, Coach, I'm going to knock him out in this round. I go, hey, but be careful. Don't get reckless. Bien, vamos. No. Estás muy atrás. No te hagas para atrás cuando tienes el volado.
How important would it be for Duarte to get a knockout tonight against a very tough Rey Perez?
Well, it's very, very important. You know, a knockout is like the icing on the cake. But now Rey Perez went into survival mode. Now it's going to be harder to knock him out because he's conservative now. He's not throwing to open up, to give him the access.
All right, thank you very much for that insight, Joel Diaz. We'll have the final instructions for Oscar Duarte prior to round 10.
No more. Last round? What?
Okay.
Sit down right. Please, you all right? Huh? You all right? Hey, he's doing, look at me, hear me.
Last round, we'll touch him up in the center. Tell me that.
He's doing his hardest fucking shots. He can't do nothing to you, man. You gotta fucking move it. Move to the side. Let's go. Wait. You gave this fucking fight up, son. You gave
Let's
the fight
listen
up.
to Rey
You gave it
Perez's
up,
corner.
man. You gave
This is the
fight
Hennessy
up.
corner cam.
You gave this fight up. I don't know why you gave this fucking fight up. You gotta throw them uppercuts with the hooks, man. You gotta. Hey, Ray. Ray. You gotta go in there and fucking box real hard and move. Yeah. Come on, man.
All right, desperation in Salvador Casillas' voice for Rey Perez. At this point, they don't even want the knockout. They just want him to box and move and stay away from the power of Oscar Duarte. Something that caught my attention, they said, how did you give this fight up, is what they were telling Rey Perez. All right, Oscar Duarte is now in the 10th round. That's twice as long as he's gone in any of his previous fights. How strong is this young kid from Parral, Chihuahua? We were talking about how as a 10 and 12-year-old, he would carry 50-kilogram sacks of grain in his father's ranch and just throw them around like it was nothing. He said, that's where I get my strength from. That's where I get my punching power from. I'm a natural. So he wants to finish this fight in very impressive fashion. Rey Perez just wants to survive, stay on his feet, move laterally, and here comes the combination punching of Oscar Duarte, who says, hey, as a 22-year-old kid, there's plenty left in this tank. What did Oscar Duarte tell you in the corner between the 9th and 10th round?
Well, he just asked me, how am I doing? I said, you're doing great, but you need to pick it up a little bit. And I know he's not tired. That's why I told him, you're not tired. You got great conditioning. Let's go for all. Let's go for all the marbles. He goes, okay, we're going to go for it.
Bien. Nice body shot there from Duarte, partially blocked by Perez, who comes back with a left of his own. But just the types of punches that Perez is taking, he's taking too many compared to what he's dishing out against Oscar Duarte.
Síguele picando el pecho y no le cambies arriba.
Keep punching to the chest is what Joel Diaz is saying.
Hay que hacer cambios, Nico, hay que hacer cambios,
ya sabes. Gotta switch things up.
Muévete para acá, muévete para la derecha.
Move right.
Eso, ahí. Cuando te muevas, mete el volado arriba. Volado derecha y luego el gancho al cuerpo.
About 75 seconds left here in the 10th round. Joel, your assessment of Duarte's performance?
He did great. I mean, he's in there against an experienced fighter, which is Rey Perez. He's not just any opponent, and we know that these Filipino fighters are very, very strong. They come to fight. They're gonna give their whole heart in the ring, and that's what happened. You know, I mean, you saw Rey Perez against Chimpa Gonzalez. I'm very happy with his performance. Bien, vamos.
In terms of confidence, how much will a fight like this help Oscar Duarte in his development moving forward, knowing he went 10 rounds strong?
Well, it's an experience. His first 10-rounder going against a fighter that has probably double the fights he has, it's something that you cannot explain. This will elevate his confidence to come back stronger. Vamos!
All right, and it's not just twice as many rounds, it's 5 times as many rounds, Joel. So thank you for joining us and giving us this insight for this particular fight, both a trainer and a commentator. We'll see you here ringside next to me for the next fight. For now, enjoy the end of this 10th round.
Thank you. Vamos!
All right, there is the final bell. Let's listen to the unique perspective.
Tranquilo. Hey, respira nomás una vez.
Take a deep breath.
Abajo. Lo bueno que te agarró el último. Agárrale, no se desnude.
Take a deep breath, says Joel Diaz. It's been a long night for the trainer as well. So Joel Diaz was mic'd up all night. Let's listen to the best of the red corner of Oscar Duarte with our very own Joel Diaz.
Vamos, cerrando distancia, pero con control, Nico. Trabaja el cuerpo un poquito más. Bien, va. Ya no quiere. Él ya sintió la pegada, por eso se está moviendo, mijo. Ya no quiere intercambiar contigo. Yes, there you go. Ahí está. Hey, no tienes a lo loco, mijo. Tú eres más inteligente que esto, cabrón. ¿Para qué lo encierras si tienes a lo loco? Hay que medirle. La derecha a las costillas no la estás tirando. Otra vez. No te quedes en el mismo lugar. Muévete. Oscar, ya miras que ya no quiere nada, ¿por qué está corriendo? ¿O tienes que presionar? ¿Qué onda? ¿Vamos o no? ¿Vamos por todas las canicas o qué? Ok, dime, ¿te lastimó en algún momento? No. Entonces hay que atacar, mijo. ¿No tienes confianza de entrar o qué? A ver. Ahí está, there we go. That's what I wanted.
You could see how animated Joel Diaz was as a trainer. You can see how invested he is in this young kid, Oscar Duarte, the potential he sees, and he just wants him to continue to develop as a professional. Tonight was a great learning experience for this young man. Let's take a look at the punch stats brought to you by Tecate, and you will see an overwhelming number in favor of Oscar Duarte in this fight against Rey Perez. Here they are. In terms of percentage, 30 to 27, 517 thrown compared to 405. Not many jabs for the fighter out of Mexico, but look at the power punch numbers. 311 thrown at a 46% clip, landing almost exactly twice as many power punches as his opponent, Rey Perez. So the corner was quite disappointed in the performance of Rey Perez late in this fight. The opposite for Oscar Duarte, as you know, they're still complaining about the hand wraps to the corner.
Relax. Oh, relax. I'm talking to you. You're the one not hard. Let me talk to you. Let me talk. You're the one started grabbing the hand wrap and moving it around.
Right, but what I'm trying to tell you is that they're just soft, nothing hard.
Why is
that's for his, right? We let him put it in between the knuckles.
Look, come here.
All right, this situation with the hand wraps will be settled after the fight. We send you up to Mark Friedel for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a big Indio, California round of applause for these two hard-hitting warriors. Following the conclusion of our 10 scheduled rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge at ringside, Carla Caiz, saw the contest 98-90. Judges Zachary Young and Fernando Villarreal scored it 99-89. All three judges in favor of your winner by unanimous decision and still undefeated from Parral, Chihuahua, Mexico, Oscar Duarte.
All right, so Oscar Duarte improves to 14-1. That's Gabriel Soto, the novela actor in the red shirt. He's one of the co-promoters for this young man, Oscar Duarte, a fighter they see with a great future moving forward.